Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Convos with Paige. Today our topic is the impact of childhood trauma, and we have so much in store. Stay tuned. Everyone, this episode we are talking about childhood trauma, and I do have a guest with me.
What's up?
This is my friend Benjamin.
How are you?
He is an artist. What else do you do besides make noise?
That's so real. I feel like I like to call myself a mixed media artist. Okay. Multimedia artist. I work with multi-mediums, like multiple mediums. Music, painting. Yeah, I do it all.
You scribble.
I scribble a little bit. But I usually scribble with other artists. Like I usually collab on pieces. I'm a part of a photography team. Shout out to the collective. Shout out to my guy Dave. I'm a part of a photography model team. So really just get a lot of my pieces from what we shoot, and I kind of work with other artists to kind of bring them to life. But I'm also an entrepreneur. I brought some of my journals here today for you guys.
I know.
Which we'll get into that in a little bit, I guess, right? And then I also have a finance background. I've been working in corporate finance for like the last 10 years. I know, right? Really? Yeah, we were just talking about pencil pushing, right? Like, really just a pencil pusher, but really just been trying to navigate what it is self-expression has gave to me the last few years. And that's been through the journal. That's been through like my own self-expression journey. And hopefully one day to pivot out of finance, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, that's me. I am a entrepreneur, business owner, artist, all the above, honestly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Let's go, black man.
For real. Hey, toast to the black man. Toast to the black man. We celebrating the black man today on this podcast, for real. I heard you don't be having enough masculine energy on here.
You know what?
What's up with that?
No.
Do you hate men or? Do you hate men or?
Oh Jesus! No, I love men. I love black men, and y'all gotta do better.
Of course. I mean, we all gotta do better, for real.
But y'all gotta do better.
Well, what we talking about today is actually I feel like it's something that a lot of black men deal with that we actually don't even really have the awareness of. Which I'm actually really excited to get into that conversation, childhood trauma, because I feel like that's the start of where black men could do better dealing with that childhood trauma.
Self-awareness. Self-awareness
is key. And again, I brought some of my journals today, so we actually gonna get into the whole.
Are we gonna have a journal session?
We actually could. There are journal prompts in there.
You got a pen? Do we come with a pen?
It comes with a pen. It comes with a pen holder. So you can put your own pen in here. You have to purchase the pen separately, y'all. Okay, but put your own pen in here and walk your way into self-expression, into a better life.
I want to talk about, when we talk about trauma, how do we know what's trauma, what's not trauma, right? So I learned about ACE scores. I was watching a TED Talk. I can't remember this lady's name, but she was a black woman, and so I was already hooked. But she was explaining like what ACE scores are, and they're basically, so ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. Okay. And so those are things that children experience before the age of 17 that have a negative impact on their life. And ultimately, the higher the ACE score, the more likely they are at risk for physical illness, mental illness, and just, it's kind of like a domino effect. I think the higher the score, the more shit you got going on. You took the quiz.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for sending it over.
What was your score?
My score was a 2. It was very low. I feel like I was blessed and fortunate to have an amazing, loving family with 2 parents. Came from a 2-parent home. Was it perfect? No, of course not. But definitely came from a loving home. Didn't really see a lot of abuse, but my heart is for some reason still with children. You know what I'm saying? Still with actually dealing with that trauma. Not because I didn't go through it. I saw a lot of my friends kind of go through that situation, even some family members and that type of thing. So even though I haven't really grew up in that aspect, it's still like heavy on my heart.
You still care about it?
I still definitely care about it. That's why I do the journal. That's why we spoke about my workshop that I'm trying to bring into the schools this upcoming year, just to give another option for people to deal with stressors that's kind of low cost, because that's what essentially what journaling is. Journaling is a low cost way to do therapy practices, right? And when you go to therapy, they tell you they ask you what you think before they ask you to do these exercises, affirmations, say these in the mirror. And journaling is very honestly a low cost way to do that. Definitely understand what that high A scores does to our community. Definitely understand that there is an attack on young men right now, young men and women, young black men and women, in regards to our households and our trauma.
I want to stay on topic. I don't want to go into like low cost ways to deal with that. But I think that's important to do because therapy is expensive.
It is, real.
And if you can't afford therapy,
or
if you're a child, what do you do?
So the energy with me as a parent, as a mentor, is how easy is it for you to express yourself in whatever medium that is for you, right? Like, like how a person feels like their chest is not heavy anymore after they tell somebody a secret. You know what I mean?
Is it a safe space?
Is it a safe space, right? And I tell people this all the time with journaling. Like, journaling to me is a safe space, but to a point, right? Because people still can read our journals, they can go through our stuff, right? And that has happened before. Real has happened.
In there.
But at the same time, there's a relationship you have with your journal, with yourself, that you can only be real and raw with yourself.
You could be honest
with your journal,
because you're the only one reading it.
You're the only one reading it to that, to the baseline point. Like, you're the only one reading it. So I feel like journaling in itself is a powerful tool, just in regards to just getting stuff off your chest. And again, with childhood trauma, those are things we carry throughout our whole lives. Things that we have that are building up on us, in our minds, on our hearts. So, in my practice and what I've learned, like, journaling to me is another way to kind of convene with yourself, and also just convene with your creator, whoever, whatever you believe in, whatever aspect of that. It's definitely a way to kind of just be intentional about your thoughts and kind of navigating towards a better you.
So, for me though, journaling is like, I have so many journals. I write wherever. Like, I will write on the notebook. I'll write on the napkin, wherever. For me, it's just a way to vent, and then I know that it's not gonna get around. Like, I could say whatever I want about whoever I want, and ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, remember you said
for real
that about. No, ain't nobody gonna know. So for me, that's just the outlet to like release whatever thoughts or whatever. And then, after I read it, I'll be like, dang, that's how I feel about this.
Yeah, so for me, journaling, like, there's two halves to journaling. There's the part of actual expression, getting out what you attempt to get out. But then there's an aspect of like reflecting on that. Like, literally sitting down and kind of seeing where you came from. Like, where were you at that point in time? Where are you now? Like, I feel like looking at our past in a lens that's not we don't want to get stuck back there, right? But at the same time, looking at our past, we can really learn and kind of operate for future successes, future failures. Like, how did you actually feel in that moment? How were you successful in that moment? And kind of bringing that to your present. And I read this amazing book. It's called
You read?
I definitely love reading. Oh my goodness.
Did not know.
It's called, I forgot what it's called, but you know what? The book I read, we're gonna put it right here. Right here, right? And it just kind of talked about recalling your positive experiences versus your negative experiences. Like, how great athletes, people who do things at a high level, they only really recall their successes. Now, it's good to recall your losses in a learning aspect, but the actual data we gather to go do something else, we actually need those small wins from before. And I feel like journaling kind of capture those. Whether it's journaling in a negative space, journaling in a positive space, neutral space. And that's what the Hustle For You journal is. That it kind of like it's intentional about the data it gathers. So that way you'll be able to kind of look back and see like, what actually was I thankful for at this time? You know, what did I need to do this day to be successful? Because this was a good day for me, right? And so those are the type of data points we try and capture with the journal, and that you'll be able to reflect on and kind of move forward with. Because if you saw how you was moving back in the day when you was going through, you know, that grief, you lost your mom or dad, like, you know, this new grief that you're dealing with, you can kind of see how, one, you were going through that, but then how you overcame that.
You built that resilience.
Exactly.
Like, all right, yeah. So I'm glad that you brought up positive experiences, because that's the thing. So we have ACEs, which is the adverse childhood experience, but then we also have PCEs, and it's positive childhood experiences. And so those are things like your favorite gym teacher saying, you know what, you did great today.
Yeah.
Here's a box of Godiva chocolates. Shout out to Ms. Gilbert.
Miss Gilbert, we love
you. Love her to death. I ain't seen her in years. But anyway.
And you recalling this experience right now.
I love her.
Think about that. Like,
yeah, she like poured into me. And so those are experiences like that. And, you know, having somebody come volunteer basketball, teaching them drills, even though they're like, what'd you say, 3?
They 4 through 7, and there's nothing going on.
But they gonna remember that.
They are gonna remember.
They gonna remember. You know what? This man, he came and he taught me how to dribble a ball.
Yeah, and also, you know what? I don't want to move us forward, but I think this is a really good conversation. And we were talking about this yesterday, just about how the children receive me in that aspect.
Okay, you just want to move it forward.
Well, no, not
people
even
say,
that.
I don't mean to be rude, but and then proceed to be rude.
No, well, it's just really important, right? Because I kind of want to bring it up in this moment.
That's fine.
Because like me, just like you said, I volunteer on the weekends. I do basketball practice up at the Collinwood Rec. Any kids 4 through 7 that want to come out and practice with us, we're at the Collinwood Rec every Saturday between 2:30 and 3:30, just doing normal drills. But one of the things about me is I told myself from the jump, I want to give them the coach energy. I'm gonna give them like Coach Benjamin. So if you're not listening, you're gonna do 10 push-ups. You're gonna run around, and you may ask me why, and I'm gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a great kind of segue into how children kind of see that from coming from a man versus, you know, a woman, you know, where they might be in a single parent household or whatever the case may be, actually having that masculine energy around, and not only that, but operating in that masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it really blesses a lot of the boys there. You know, I see it in my son, obviously, but it really blesses a lot of the boys there, because they're like, man, like this guy, like,
he for real.
Yeah, he not playing, you know, and they might go over there and sit with their mommy for a sec, because, you know, that's something I'm not gonna do too. I'm not gonna coddle them either. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let them grow on their own time. But at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna come out here and work, because that's what men do. They come out here and work. We have fun, but we also listen. We pay attention, and we do things the right way too. You know.
Okay, so that just made me think. So when you said that's what men do, okay, so go back, rewind back from like men, women, whatever. It's a sport. Yeah. Sports are a masculine thing. Like it's competitive. That's not feminine. So yeah, I just want to clarify that. That's it. I lost my thought. But it's just not just a man woman thing. It's sports is so and you need that masculine
it's masculine energy. It's like not a man woman, it's just like
you need that.
So for example, how I feel like how I communicate with my daughter, I'm more on my feminine side. You know what I'm saying? Where I like open up well, a little soft. You know, but she still need that hard stuff too. You know what I'm saying? She still needs that hard rock. She still needs a man that she can see, so she can know how to be treated by other men too. You know, I feel like even in my household, I'm setting up an example for my son how to treat women, right? And I'm setting up an example for my daughter, how should I be treated by a man? And you know, so it's like a two-way street there.
So y'all go on dates? You take your girl on dates?
I take my daughter on dates. Yeah, I do. I love my daughter so much. I feel like she's taught me how to love a woman for real. She taught me how to actually, like, what actually does a woman need to be. Because you know what I was thinking about? For real, this is so crazy. So my I have a family member who, you know, didn't have a dad from a young age. And I was talking to their parent, and they were telling me how at one point they were like so happy, fine, whatever the case may be. But then after their parent had left, it was like you could saw a shift.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like almost like she was going through a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
But at 4, 5, 6, 7, you don't know how to deal with that heartbreak.
Childhood experience.
Yeah, like you literally don't know how to deal with that heartbreak.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you already answered my first question.
Damn, what was your first one? We're just moving through, like.
Okay, so I was going to ask, what changed? Well,
that's still good.
What changes have you made to give yourself and your children a safe, healthy home environment?
I would say the major thing is just the actual emotional intelligence that I've developed over the last 10 years. I'm 31 right now, so I feel like I've been on this therapy journey, journaling, self-expression journey for the last like probably 10 years now. And I've been telling people like, I feel like I told you this, like we in our 30s now, where it's to a point where
I'm 21.
My bad. So we up in our expertise now, where we actually been operating for a decade in what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if that's like different things, you still have been doing something for 10 years, right? I've been in finance for 10 years. I've been on this journal expression for 10 years. So it's like I'm actually a big dog in what I'm saying, because I have the expertise to back it up.
OG.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that I've been on this emotional intelligence like thirst for the last 10 years, I feel like that's something, the educational part of it, that's something that my parents necessarily weren't equipped with. And I don't know if that's just like an education level or whatever the case may be, but now that I'm equipped with it, you know, I'm giving that to my children. And that wasn't something I necessarily got. So for example, having just more high emotional intelligence conversations with my son about inappropriate ways I'm thinking out loud. So I may have conversations with my son about early on, just about why does he feel a certain way, or or you made my daughter, you made Kennedy, you made my daughter mad, like you made Kennedy, you made your sister upset. Like ask her, how does she feel? Like what's wrong? Like, actually have that conversation. Just really pouring into that side of their growth. You know, that emotional intelligence is building them, and that's something I feel like that I've been trying to change from my household, where I grew up at, into their household. What about you?
Oh no, I definitely do the same thing. I was like, what you doing to my child?
For real, like.
Go check on your sister.
Exactly.
Because they come crying to you, and it's like, I'm not gonna always be there. What are you gonna do to fix the situation? And it's not just with your sibling, but with your classmates, whoever else you deal with in the world.
Yeah, I think a major part of that is actually them experiencing those emotions. So for example, my daughter actually doing this, and I'm like,
this is my daughter.
She be breaking her heart. That would break my heart so much. That would literally break my heart.
I'd be like, I don't care. See,
my daughter did that. I would probably roll on the floor. I would roll on the floor.
I can't let her see that.
Like,
I just be like, you hurt my feelings when you broke our heart.
Our heart? Oh, it's your heart.
She break, because that's my bestie. So we do this, like.
Yeah.
And then she.
Yeah.
When she mad at me.
I would tell her not to do that. Don't even play like that. You literally breaking my heart. I would literally, if my daughter did that, I would literally fall on the ground and just die like this. like you broke. Put it back together. Put it back together, Mookie. Stop playing. For real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it's important for them to go through those emotions and then have the actual resolve of, well, baby, what's wrong? Like me asking her what's wrong, and then she's saying, well, Daddy, I don't like the way you talk to me. And I say, well, okay, well, baby, maybe next time I do a better job of not getting out my character, yelling or talking to you in that manner, but you gotta listen the first time I tell you. So now her reaction to what I did is justified by me telling her, baby, you have to listen. You know what I'm saying? So now the next time, whether she listens or not, she knows that, oh, Daddy's upset with me because I didn't listen. And maybe I'll listen next time, maybe I'll listen not, but the conversation afterwards, he still loves me, he still honors me. And I'm a kid, so I'm gonna mess up anyways. I always tell my kids, baby, I don't listen sometimes too, and it's okay. Yeah. But in this moment, I need you to listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just giving them that room to see me as a human and not just a father. Yeah. It's very important to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the most mature thing that I have done in making sure that my household is healthy is making sure that my kids can come and talk to me about whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to hear. For them to be able to say, Mommy, I didn't like that. Or so my thing is I'm working on, and I'm not that good at it, but when I feel like I'm being ignored, I start to yell and I raise my voice. And then, you know, obviously they shut down, like, I don't know, you scaring me, because why are you yelling? And then once we all calm down, once I calm down and realize, you know what, I'm upset about something that's not even their issue. Like, I'm dealing with something that, why do I feel disrespected when they don't move immediately?
Yeah.
What is my trigger? So that's my
question.
issue.
What's that energy though? Because I feel like, so for me, you actually should be moving that quickly when I say. Like,
okay, so when you understand childhood development and you understand how their minds work, yes, they should be moving because that's what we want them to do. But children have a one-track mind, literally. And if they over here doing something and you want them to do something over there, you have to literally, well, I'm gonna speak for myself.
Yeah.
I have to literally get down on their level, get their attention so that I know for sure you heard me and you understand what you're supposed to do.
Yes, that's so important. That's so important because I feel like I be asking my children a lot, like, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, do you actually get do you get what I'm saying? So that way there's no confusion. So when I come back and act this way, you're like, okay, well, I understood what Daddy was saying. I still didn't do it. And that's why he's upset or whatever the case may be. Again, it's just giving them reason to understand my reactions. And also just letting them know that I'm a flawed human too. So Daddy's going to mess up a million times. Daddy's not going to get it right. Same way you're not going to get it right? Like, you just forgot
I'm
that.
perfect. Everybody
right? Exactly. Right. I'm talking about the kids in
at this
general.
point,
Like,
I'm perfect, but
yeah.
you got space to improve.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like.
Okay, so the next question. I'm just moving along.
Yeah, let's move along. You're not gonna take a sip of your wine? It's been like, since we having conversations about parents, we gotta be real parents. Come on, let's toast up. Be real parents. Be real parents, y'all.
Listen, if we being real, this glass wouldn't have lasted this long.
That's real. You see, I drank mine.
Stressful.
I drank mine, so.
Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's talk about the journals.
Okay.
I feel like we talked about the journals.
I feel like it's
the
more.
inspiration behind it, the process.
Yeah, so
process?
Essentially, I've been on this road, man. I've been on this road to self-expression for the last 10 years. And this journal kind of came out of when I was younger, just like everything that I kind of wanted to do, I just wrote down first. And I ended up doing that shit. Like, it was like a situation where, like, man, like, there's actually power in writing. And then you hear it in the music. A lot of my favorite artists talk about manifestation, talk about writing things down, talk about saying things first, bringing it to the physical plane. So that's something that perks my ears up. Like anything that is remotely, because to me that's like God energy, like creator energy, God energy, making a way out of no way. Like that's God energy, but then that's actual.
Come on, Kanye.
No, for real, that's God energy, but then that's black energy because we actually made a way out of nothing.
Yeah.
We made a way out of under nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like our history in this country too. So it's like anytime that kind of plays itself out through the music, plays itself out through the world, I always pay attention to it, right? So with that being said, I noticed that, but then I noticed that there wasn't a real market for African American men in the mental health space, journaling wise, that wasn't corny. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't like that wasn't like I don't know, that wasn't like corporate corny. You know what I'm saying? But that could actually really connect in a way that was and I'm not even really trying to be cool about it. It's just like there's a way you go about using the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
you mean like the shirts that they have on like Etsy and stuff that have like a random Biggie quote.
Exactly, right? Like there's
First
a way,
of all,
there's a
he
respect.
got more music than
Exactly. There's a respect level you have to go about when using the culture in that capacity. So I feel like with this journal, it's a perfect mix between rap, because Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer Prize. He won a Pulitzer Prize, like he was the best writer that year in all of the writing genre, like every writing genre.
I didn't know that.
Which is actually important. You didn't know that, right?
I didn't know that, but it makes sense. I believe it.
And it was for the album Damn. And,
I love
and that album was so profound if you actually listen to it. And it's like, damn. Damn. Wow. How actually can this man be a writer, rapper, person we educated to hate those people. We supposed to educated to hate the hood, essentially. Like, that's negative. This man won a Pulitzer Prize. So at that point, you know, it's more than just rap music. Like, this is actual.
It's deeper than rap.
It's deeper than rap. You know what I'm saying?
Who said it?
A lot of people. Ross is the first one.
No, it wasn't him.
It wasn't him, but he's the first one to come. He got an album called Deeper Than Rap.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the energy is
get it on paper.
Get it on paper. Write it down. Actually, what are you thankful for? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the journal goes to. So there's 5 aspects of the journal. There is a do's and don'ts aspect. What do you need to do to be successful today? What don't you need to do to be successful? Like, what traits do you not want to have?
What you want to let go of.
Exactly. And then affirmations, I am, whatever in the capacity that you are that day. And then saying that out loud. Gratitude. Practicing gratitude, they say, actually helps your physical health. And we were talking before the show, and it was just like actually practicing gratitude on a daily, intentionally kind of helps you think about things that you're thankful for that you may not know. You know, because you may not have a house, you may not have a car, you may not have anything, but there's something you can be thankful for that day, whether it's your breath, the next breath that you take, right? So again, just being intentional about where our gratitude comes from, and giving that back to your creator, to yourself in that aspect. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, we got stuff we got to do, so we got to write down our goals, top 5. What do we need to do today? What are things that we need to do that we may not get to, but if we can finish, what are those things we need to do? And then there's also a time tracker in there. There's a free writing area in there. And the journal is really just focused on self-expression. You know, there's so many ways to express yourself. Again, I'm a multiple media artist. Multifaceted artist. I use multiple mediums. So if that's the case, you know, we can express ourselves the same way with journaling. You know, there's journal prompts, which is included in the journal, that are CBT-based, faith-based. One of my favorite journaling prompts.
CBT, what you know about CBT?
CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
So that's what the journaling is based. That's what the journal was based off.
Mental wealth.
You already know what's up. So that's what the journal was based off. The idea of cognitive behavioral therapy. The idea that our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions all have they're all connected in some type of triangle. Right, so we can influence our thoughts, we can influence what we do, we can influence how we think about other things, and then that's just a cycle that we just continue to do. But you have to actually do the work first, right?
Do the work.
For real.
It's not just writing. It's about using what you wrote to be better than you were.
Yeah, it's about writing and reflecting. I think there's 2 parts to journaling that is very important. Writing it down and then just looking back on it, you know?
Okay, so that was so nice. That was cool. Okay, come on. Okay, I'm gonna ask, how do you navigate moments of doubt or fear, personally and professionally, and what keeps you going?
How do I navigate moments of doubt? Again, just looking back to what I've done already. You know, I'm 31, so I have a plethora of things to pull back on in my time, which I may not have had at 21. Right? Like, you don't have that bank of failure, success, all of that built up at 21. So it takes time to get here. But for me personally, I just look back on everything that I've done. You know, I look back on the things that I've done right, the things that I've accomplished. And I always tell myself, like, you did that, you can do this.
Yeah, this ain't
like, this ain't actually, and guess what? When you do this, you're going to be saying you did that too. And then also a hint of visualization. I feel like another part of journaling that kind of opens up this space for you is just the idea of visualizing what you want, being a creator in your own right, in your own sense. And I think that's very big for me in moments. So even sometimes in the moment, I try and, like, while I'm doing my work, I'll visualize me being done with the work. Like, I'll visualize the feelings that I may have.
Like what it looked like on the other side.
Like, the actual feelings that I may have when I'm finished, like damn, I'm lit, like I did that, like I just did that presentation, or I just laid that song, like, or I just did this piece, and it's like, so I be visualizing myself finished, being excited and happy about it. So at that point, I know what that looks like for me. I also visualize myself doing the work too, not so much in the details of the work. You know, I feel like a lot of people get bogged down with like the actual details. I just like to have a high level baseline of what I'm doing. I put that in my mind, and I let that kind of carry me towards the end of what I'm doing, that process. So really just visualization, and then also just remembering what I've done great already. Pulling back from your successes is very important. Look back and really see what you've done and bask in that glory. Like there's experience and energy that you can gain that can affect you right now in the present too. Like I feel like energy is outside of time and space. They say God is outside of time and space, right? Like I feel like that creative energy that to me comes from God is outside of time and space. It's not. So you can pull that same energy from the past to the present. You know what I'm saying? And really have an anchor for where you need to go in the future.
In your work, what have you noticed about the children you engage with? How do they receive you, and what insights have you gained from these interactions?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. So 2024, one of my goals was to actually just get more involved in the community. Like I'm already involved in like my children's lives, and so the kids that kind of affect their lives. But I just want to get more involved in my community. So I've just been trying to get back. So I definitely been working with younger children, 4 through 7, and volunteering at the Collinwood Rec when I can, and really just trying to insert my energy wherever I can. You know, I feel like God has blessed me with a certain personality and energy that resonates with children and parents just in general. So I definitely want to use those blessings He gave me. So, but to answer your question, I would say I think the thing for me is I just kind of want to give them that aspect of fatherhood where I'm not going to take less because I know what you're worth already. So even as a young child, like instilling that actual energy of like you're actually a king. I know you can listen. I know you can be whatever you want to be. So don't sell me short right now. You know, not taking anything less than what a real father would take from these kids. What I would take from my son. You know, so for example, hearing my son talk negative, I think there is an energy with me at least with parenting. I'm over dramatic. Cause I remember my parents.
You don't say.
Well, I used to remember my parents being nonchalant about things and me feeling like a way about it. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna be over dramatic with my kids, so that way, whatever I'm communicating, they'll know I'm actually communicating that exact thing to them. So like anytime they do something good, I'll be like, yeah, let's go, yo. Like, and I do it in a non-corny way, but like,
it's very corny.
Okay.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like, well, then when they do something bad, they be like, no, that's not it. Like, or for example, if my daughter break their heart, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna jump on the floor. I'm gonna roll on the floor crying. Baby, don't do that.
Maybe I think I'm gonna start falling out.
Literally fall out because you're breaking my heart.
She's too comfortable.
You're literally breaking my heart. What are you doing? So just letting them know that, they just not gonna sell anything short, and then just being dramatic about that, because I really believe that. I really believe that you're special, that God placed you here for a specific reason.
Amen.
And I'm gonna be dramatic about it because God is dramatic about it. He put you here. That's actually dramatic as fuck.
It's very.
Making
I love you so much. I'm about to make you.
Making somebody is dramatic as fuck. So like, why wouldn't I be dramatic about how you treat yourself, how you treat me, how you treat others around you? So I feel like I try and get the energy of like not selling yourself short. So even like when I'm working with different kids, just having the energy of like, no, do that right, or no, you can actually do that. Do it again. Try it 100 times. I'm gonna be there every time. Like, yeah, like no, try it again. Like try it again. Like until you get it. And if you don't get it, guess what? We're gonna get it. So it's really just the energy of not taking less than what a real father would take, what I would take on my children.
Yeah, because they need that.
They need it.
Everybody need it.
Everybody need
an
it.
extra cheerleader.
So to me, it's like cheerleader, yes, but for me, it's just more or less like it's a village already.
Yeah.
Right. It literally takes a village. So for example, I'm actually a part of that village now. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. So like when the niggas talk about village, that's the actual village they be talking about. They be talking about coaches and mentors. So if you actually are serious about being a part of that village, you know, you have to be serious about playing that part for them in whatever capacity that is for you.
You gotta be ready for everything that come with being in that village.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, as a mother, how are you prepared with your son getting older, him walking into his masculine energy, his masculine form? Like, how are you preparing for that?
Wow, is this
Flip the interview.
It sure was, but you know what? I am making sure that I have that village, so, and that support for us, for me, for him, my daughter, everybody. Yeah. You brought up something, and my brain just stopped talking about it. But in that village, and taking in whatever those children bring you, I really want to talk about secondary trauma.
Okay.
So as a social worker, a licensed social worker.
Better say that. Better say that.
And working in education, working with children, working with all kinds of families, with all kinds of experiences. It's like a fine line between this is work versus, I mean, like a care for them as a people versus like taking on their trauma. Yeah. And so secondary trauma is essentially hearing someone else's issues and you feeling those, that effect of that. So, and it's a real thing. I remember being burnt out after work and feeling like crying, like, oh my God, they going through that.
So would you say you're an empathetic person?
I think that in order to do my job, I would have to be. Okay. Because I care about the outcome. I care about the betterment of everybody. So in order to avoid coming home crying, burnt out, and can't do my own goals, dreams, taking care of my kids, my household, what I have to do is like definitely make sure I keep up with my self-care. Yeah. Because otherwise I will be drained. I journal a lot. Thank you for the journal.
Of course.
I take very, very, very long showers because that's my self-care. Me too. It's the hot water. Sometimes I don't even be in the water.
Just sitting in there.
I need to be alone.
It's it's a mixture of the noise and the actual hitting you. I feel like the running water itself kind of gives you the energy. So you were just playing Brighter Day, which kind of remind me of Melodies from Heaven. Right, so I was explaining that song to my children. I was telling them how, like, think about how the rain washes down on us. You know, like, that's really how blessings come from God. Like, they literally come in like clouds of rain. It feels like rain washing over you. Like,
it feels like, what is this, another storm?
Like, yeah, it really feels like, but it's like, no, the flowers are growing. We in spring, the flowers are growing. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's actually a difference in actually thinking in regards to that, So I definitely understand that whole shower thing, because I kind of equate that to actual real spiritual blessings, like the whole spirit of water.
Just a symbol of water washing away. Everything will be anew.
Period.
Refresh.
Definitely. But secondary trauma, though, that's...
I use soap too, though, when I shower. I don't just be...
Do you?
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you for blessing us with that God energy.
Of course, God energy.
I have a quote that I really want to share.
Of course.
Because we just care about children so much. But still, fuck them kids.
It's really that, and so the energy behind fuck them kids is not. It's really just, I want to live my life. I'm not gonna wait or be conflicted or like be drained by anybody else, whether it's children or not. I feel like a lot of people try to like make it seem like, oh, because you have kids, you have to like move a certain way, which I agree, there is a way you have to move, but like not in my personal life. In my personal life, I'm still Benjamin Hemingway. Like just because I'm a father doesn't mean I'm not a artist or a man or just a teacher or coach. Like that's just one aspect of me of who I am, so it's really fuck them kids in regards to just living our lives the way we want to, because God's made us stewards over our lives as well as stewards over our children's lives. So it's like you kind of have that balance too. So that's where I feel like the fuck them kids come in at. Like that it actually reads to me.
Yeah.
Because it's
they
really
not
like
about to stop nothing,
they not stopping nothing. We still living our lives. We still getting older, finer. Period. We still getting better, and that's just the energy. And that energy is gonna trickle down on my children.
Yeah. The quote is by James Baldwin, who's an artist, writer. I love him. Big dog, like me, multi artist, multi-medium artist. He is amazing. But anyway, the quote says, and the children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe. And I am beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality.
For real. 1000%. Always think about kids in general and just like how people be kind of fucking up the energy that kids kind of bring in whatever capacity, you know, abuse, whatever. And I be thinking like, damn, you were actually a kid one day.
Yeah, you was you was doing that same
like you
shit.
were a
what
kid.
About them
you know what I'm saying? So it's like
trigger you so much.
At that point, you know what I'm saying, you hate on yourself. You literally hate on yourself when you hate on the kids.
Yeah. And that take a lot of self-awareness to figure out what about childhood triggers you.
For real.
Why them kids running around happy? Obsession.
And you know what's crazy is I think a lot of that is people be forgetting that they be kids. Swear to God. My sister, my nephew was living with me for a second. He's 16. And my sister used to come home and be like, she used to like come to my house and be like, man, why is he always on the phone? Like, he need to get up and do something, clean up, whatever. I'm like, Angel, when you were 16, what were you doing?
The same shit.
Talking on the phone and not doing nothing.
The same shit.
Like, she like, oh my God, you so right. I'm like, exactly.
She forgot.
He's just doing the same thing. So it's like, yeah, we should actually give him that new grace, like that new space where it's like, no, you should be doing something. But they're letting them be kids too. Like, no, he's 16, he don't want to talk on the phone. He want to talk to his girlie. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you again for being here. Thank you for sharing. And tell them where they can follow you. You can follow the journal at @hustleforyou_ on Instagram, Hustle For You on Facebook. You can follow me at @longlive_Bugatti on Instagram. And yeah. And you know, you can find the podcast on Instagram, Convos Podcast. Convos. Convos. Yes. Love that. And you can get us wherever you find your podcast. Thank you for joining us, and peace. I will see you next time. Love y'all. How do you navigate moments of doubt or fear, both personally and professionally? And what keeps you going despite these challenges? I can't read today. What is this? I think it might be every day, but did I say that? Sorry. Where is my crickets? All right, bye. Thank you. Bye. Okay. That's my babysitter, y'all. I had to answer that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Please don't play with me. Sorry, that's hold my nose. Like now, I was wondering what that smell was. Please stop. Okay, you know what? Ooh. Okay. So. Irritating. Yeah.